Welcome back, everybody, to yet another short video of what's going on. I am your host, Jacob Carlson, and today, in this short video, I'm going to be talking about speaking up for yourself. Now, why in this particular case? Well, for the past nearly 10 years of my life, since 2014 to be exact, I've had a lot of time on my hands to think about precisely what happened that particular year, and I'm going to try to explain it the best that I can right now. Back in 2014, when I was still in high school, um, it was Thursday afternoon. I got into an altercation between two classmates at the time. I do not remember for the life of me what happened, but for some reason I was infuriated and I just stormed out. I just walked out and went to my next class just before the end of the school day altogether. One of the teachers noticed the altercation and decided to take matters into their own hands. Now, as I'm on the bus ride home and I'm already back home to begin with in the afternoon, I'm thinking to myself, okay, maybe I should have done something different. And in the morning, when I get back to school, I'll explain my situation and hopefully we'll be able to avoid anything else. The next day happens, Friday, which is the longest and most frustrating Friday I've ever had in my life, begins. And they call me to the school office almost right away after I've had my first class or two. And they already concluded that well, it's not the first time they concluded this, but this time it was much more frustrating. They concluded I had a behavior problem and I need to learn how to communicate with people my own age, and I did not appreciate the fact that they made this decision without me. They just made it for me, and that's what I didn't like. And I'll get back to that in a few seconds. They already called up my mother. My mother would take me all the way into town in order to get registered for some counseling sessions, and of course eventually group therapy. First I said no several times, and then I said yes. And of course, that very same day, we grab a bite to eat, we come back home, and we're just as confused and confounded as I've ever been. And of course, my mother as well. And she didn't like the situation either. So, on one thing, we can't agree on that. And to this day, I'll still never understand why they did that. But as we're preparing to go over to my dad's place, I wasn't looking where I was going because I was so angry at the time. I slipped and sprained my left ankle as a result, and I couldn't walk straight for nearly a week and a half at that point, and just adding literal insult to injury, or injury to insult at this in this case. That was one of the worst Fridays of my life, and that kick-started an entire summer of 2014 where, though I did not like the circumstances of how I got into it, I actually, in hindsight, do recall having a good time during group session therapy. There were instances where me and the kids, where I was along a lot of kids who were either the same age or much younger than me, and we went out bowling. We went out to a few water parks, and we even went to a place, indoor trampoline place, where somewhere in town, and I actually did have a good time. I did make some good friends, and there was an instance where I accidentally shoved a kid in a swimming pool, and the adrenaline just kicked in at that moment, and I went straight to one of the counselors, and I said it was an accident, and it's never going to happen again. In that moment, the one thing that could have avoided this entire situation in the first place was exactly what I spent the last 10 years trying to reconcile in the first place. I spoke up for myself for the first time. I avoided getting into trouble altogether because I told them that it was an accident, and I apologized to the kid, and it never happened again. And on the van ride home, back to town, back to the place, we fast became friends. There was one altercation, we actually became friends as a result. So being able to speak up for myself, it was a lesson that I should have learned earlier in life, but to this day, I still find it very difficult because of how awkward and and very not social I am for it. And even right now, I'm very broken English you can hear, And I'm getting real nervous, and I get real flustered when I talk about this. So being able to speak up for yourself is quite a talent that a lot of people take for granted, but I hope people never do, because if you're able to speak up for yourself, you're able to own your personal narrative, and hopefully you don't get into trouble because of it. And all the teachers that are out there, I implore you, listen, talk to the kids first, have a conversation with them before you make any decision on their behalf. I know that's difficult, but you're going to have to do that instead, because you can avoid a lot of problems, and you can avoid talking to some very angry parents as a result. Take it from someone who went through that. I don't like it. You don't like it. Nobody does. And with that being said, my name is Jacob Carlson, and I'm still, to this day, after 10 years since then, learning how to speak up for myself. And if you like that, and if you like how I talked about this, please like the video, comment something you like or don't like. If there's something about speaking up for yourself that you like or don't like, let me know down in the comment section down below. I'm not very good at talking right now. I've been going through my emotions this past few days. And press the red subscribe button if you wish. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a future upload. And please share the video with all the people you know and love on social media and in your lives. And of course, take care of each other out there. Be nice to one another. And as always, I will see you in the next couple of videos. Take care of yourselves. Bye bye.